I'm really happy to be here in Rushville, Indiana. I never heard about Rushville before, but thinking it's a small town. I lived in a small town, well, small town, big town in Ithaca, New York, and it feels familiar because of that. And people are really friendly. I liked it. So my name is Fanjaniaina Fawbush, and I'm from Madagascar. I studied food science and technology, from the university in Antananarivo in Madagascar, I got an engineering degree. After that, I went to Cornell University to study more food science and also horticulture and post-harvest treatments of horticultural products. So that gives that my scientific background is in processing chocolate, is from that, and also in understanding the varieties, because the Department of Horticulture in Ithaca, I really liked my training there. It's seeing food, not just because you have the material and then you process it to give something else or to make it better with adding stuff. It's really understanding the origin of the material. So I came, and then the project was about making juice or making cut apples. And I did my homework, and then when it's the time to discuss about the homework, I was the only one who didn't know where was the origin of the apple, what was the post-harvest preservation of it, what happened before it came to the table, and then I process it. So that was really a big lesson for me that I learned when I didn't think yet of making chocolate. Well, I thought of making chocolate, but that was asleep. So when I teach at university right now. When I teach, is really making my student understand that it's not about processing, it's about understanding the origin of all your materials first, and then the result of your processing, the explanation of that comes from where all your materials come from and what kind of treatments you are actually doing after harvest and even before that. So when I say before that, it's the variety, the cultivar of your product. So I am from Madagascar. In 1998, I was on a field trip in a valley called Sambirano Valley, northwest of Madagascar, where cocoa is grown. And I didn't know that cocoa was, at that time, I didn't know that it's what's used to make chocolate. But we went there, it was organized that it was during the harvesting season. So I saw the tree with the fruits hanging everywhere. It's like fire, little fire everywhere. And it just amazed me. So all the fields, everything that I saw on that trip, the one that stuck with me was that cocoa field. And going back, so what I learned is there are 3 varieties in Madagascar: Criollo, Trinitario, and Forastero. And Trinitario is there, but there is a strong presence of Criollo. And it didn't mean anything to me at that time. Then when I came back, I want to be chocolatier, I want to be chocolatier. So I approached the one and only factory at that time, but they were a bit posh, so I don't think my CV reached anybody at that time. So I couldn't, have an internship with them. Then I went on studying more about fruit, and cocoa is a fruit, but I didn't know yet. Later on, after my Fulbright scholarship and getting my degree, my PhD degree at Cornell University, I decided to go back to Madagascar. And then when I went back to Madagascar, Beyond Good approached me. They wanted me to be their knowledge in chocolate making. So And then there was someone called Ed Seguin, who is an expert. I'm thinking of him still. I'm searching the picture of the two of us back then, because he passed on last year. He taught me for several days how to make chocolate. So my background, my scientific background, helped me understand that it's not, he see it in a, like an art, like a culinary thing. So how things are on his palate, the way it tastes, and the explanation of that, from structure, the smoothness, the snapping, the what is in it, at what moment you add what ingredient, how long you have something stay longer, what is the influence of every ingredient, and what's the influence of the origin, and if you have that kind of origin, what do you expect to have as a result in the chocolate? And if you don't get that, where is the problem? So it's really a problem solving in a lab that I created for Beyond Good, and also problem solving in a factory that actually processing the cocoa to make chocolate to distribute for Beyond Good. So it also helped me understand at a small scale what's playing out, and at a higher scale what is playing out when you have a factory of 500 kilogram capacity per batch. Yeah, so that's sort of my background. I was in a team that helped actually build a factory, design a factory with an architecture, understanding also that it's not just about the taste, there is a sanitary aspect of chocolate making, so avoiding cross-contamination, understanding all allergens that are playing out in it, and big part of it is really training the workers, because some of the workers are not necessarily educated and knowledgeable, but they are, the moment they work with chocolate, their drive, their passion is there, and they deserve, you know, if they are there, they deserve to have the knowledge, and training is big thing if we want to have this sanitary aspect of the chocolate making in order. So I was helping this factory have, you know, the first factory was tricky because it was built before, you know, putting all the good manufacturing practices and all the other aspect of sanitary in place. So it was a bit difficult to make adjustment in the structure of the factory. But this new factory that Beyond Good was building with the owner of the factory, it was possible to think from the start how you design, where is the dirty part, quote unquote dirty, where the raw cocoa comes in and then goes in the roaster, and from there on the clean part where there shouldn't be cross-contamination, so where the workers would change clothes will be, you know, separate from where they would change clothes if they are going to the clean space, and how you avoid contamination, and how you play the temperature in every hall until you reach the finished products. And yeah, so all of this gave me experience and understanding. I decided to create my own company, which is small, with the help of my husband. So in 2019, I left Beyond Good, and I was trained by two experts, Ed Seguin and Martin O'Dare from the UK. And I was like, what am I going to do with all this knowledge? I'm going to just doing something else. So I want to stick with something I like to do. So that's the Eka chocolate started from there. And when I worked for Beyond Good and I had my own business, that's when flavor really matters. I don't create flavor. I try to make a recipe to enhance the flavor of Madagascar chocolate. So I'm not trying to adventure I want to really use the scientific background, scientific knowledge to actually enhance more, make the Malagasy flavor chocolate come out more. So, for example, the baobab, because I'll show you first the 72%. So in the 72%, the complexity of the cocoa from Madagascar stands out because it gives you the full complexity of the flavor, a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of astringency and tartness, and then you have the fruity notes that could be citrusy and could be also, sometimes you taste some like wood note, earth note, in the 85% and the 95% for sure. And then you have the fruity notes, that citrusy, and the small fruit notes like raspberry, like strawberry, like kind of notes, which is naturally there. It's tricky. You have to have in small batch if you want to taste this. If you go beyond, you know, if you go to 500 kilogram capacity, that's already a lot. So you lose a lot of this flavor, but it's still very perceivable. But then if you go beyond that, you lose a lot of these notes and it defeats the purpose of making chocolate off of a Madagascar cocoa. So,
should I give everybody a sample, I assume?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm having you taste the 72%. That's one thing. Yes.
Why you said so as you go up in volume, why does the flavor
Yeah.
change?
So the machine, the way they do it, you know, there is a way to avoid it to some extent. So what's happening is when you actually start to grind, it's good because you start to drive off the acidic and the bitterness. You start to drive off that from the moment you grind. But then you continue on the mixing of the ingredients and all that. The moment you make the whole thing after pre-grinding into the conche or the melanger, then the chocolate mass at that moment you have to be flicked and then crushed, and then so a lot of that friction creates a lot of heat. And in the melanger, if you are like at 500 or even above that, so if you have big machines like McIntyre or Bueller machines, they have a wall, a double wall machine, and there is cool water running outside, but inside there is still, you know, the heat. So the moment it turns, so, you know, all the acidic and all of that, it's really unbearable to smell in the space. But that creates that friction and that heat and drives off that, and with it, yeah, that's one thing. And then the taste and the flavor is going also. And, you know, it works for 24, 36 hours in there. And so for that long, because you have to have it fine as well. So the fineness is for a melanger. There is a way that people are trying to do. They have the ball mill. So by having the ball mill, they have the fine particle before it enters the conchin. So the conchin is very much reduced. But they don't know that the ball mill, because it's a frictions of balls from the beginning to end, that also drives off the thing. So melanger is still, I think we have DCM and then we have Cocoa Town. The little ones is still the best if you are doing craft chocolate. And, you know, have a 20 kilogram conching machine and I have a 100 kilogram conching machine, and I can totally see the difference between the two. So right now my problem is how to make the 100 kilogram conching machine run smoothly and control the speed of the machine so that, you know, I don't have this heat and this driving off of the flavor. Yeah. Any other question?
Which one are you doing next? This one? Or that
No. Yes,
Or do you
this
want me
one,
to
this one.
Another one. Do you have another one? Okay, that one?
The 72 and then this one, yes. Have you had the 72? Yeah, so yeah, usually when you have, get smaller bites as possible, and then you bite into it maybe once or twice to just have smaller chunks and let it melt in your mouth. And then as it melts in your mouth, you want to be not having eaten chocolate all day already. Because the taste buds are covered, and then, but the trick is to drink water, to eat, you know, bread. Yeah, that's how you kind of clean your taste buds. I had this man, Lawless. He's the professor of food science, sensory analysis at Cornell University. He's like very funny, jokes all the time, but it helped a lot, myself anyway, in understanding sensory evaluation of food. And you really, a lot of things can influence that. My experience coming here, I was so stressed out because I didn't taste the chocolate leaving from Madagascar. So I had a bunch of it in the airplane and I started to taste it. But I was in a stressed feeling because I was in an airplane. Everything tasted bitter. Everything tasted bitter. And then I panicked. Okay, Colby, get me some of the March 2025, whatever you have left, bring it here. Oh, in Mentor, in New York, please send the samples I have left from March this year because it's too bitter. We have to save this and so on. I arrived here. I tasted chocolate. It tastes completely different from what I tasted from the airplane. I even texted Barb saying like, maybe the fermentation was not right. This is too bitter and all that. But actually it was fine. So these things play out in sensory evaluation of food. You have your mind, your stress, your physical, your physiology, all that influence how you taste something. So being detached from your environment for your life, being a moment where you can actually detach when you actually taste is something important to have when you're actually making chocolate. And we have this. Ed Seguin told me you have to have it almost like a liquor. So you have to like melt it and then you taste it. We don't have that. So what we do is we let it melt in our mouth and then all the complexities of flavor is coming up. How did you taste the 72? Yeah? Good. So,
Ready for the next one?
yeah,
Okay.
the baobab. Yes.
Does the 100-kilogram machine not have a speed control?
I'm trying to find the speed control for 3-horsepower machine in Madagascar. That's my problem. So I need to find the speed control. I found for 4.4 kilowatt, it looks like I have to import it
Go to
somehow.
Home Depot while you're here.
Yes. My God, yes. No tax. Yes. Thank you. You saved me.
Not yet. I gotta have the part.
Yeah, I gotta have the port and I have to think of the frequency because here it's 60, with me it's 50. Because you are 220, 50, yours is 110, 60, and I don't know with the speed controller, how would that work? Yeah, so I have to ask Home Depot.
Amazon speed controller, deliver it Monday.
Yes, I'll be here until December 10th, so
Okay.
I have time.
All right. Well, then
Yeah.
just look up the electronic shop.
Thank
Find
you.
a nerd and say, I've got this.
Thank you. Thank you. Good idea.
Tell about this one, because it's so different.
Yeah. So this one, I told you, okay, my daughter is the painter behind the packaging. So Anis Fawbush is her name. I'm Malagasy. I'm married to an American Iranian. And so and he has from his dad's side Cherokee. So it's like 4 or 5 kind of races mixed together. And it turned out that, he gave lots of talent and beauty in my daughter. Baobab fruit, velvety outside. Inside you have the beans, and then outside of the beans you have the pulp that is dry. So it makes you think of cocoa pod. Inside you have the cocoa beans, and outside you have the mucilage, the white stuff. Both are tart, but the tart wet of the cocoa make it like you have to dry it and do through another whole process before you have a powder. But the baobab more precisely, baobab fruit, it's already dry. So it's perfect because chocolate hates water, so it's easily mixable with the chocolate and gives the same kind of taste, which is very fruity, tart and sweet, goes well with the dark chocolate, temper the bitterness if you don't like the bitterness of it's still astringency because the fruit itself is astringent. But this can easily be positioned as a superfood because baobab fruit is very rich in antioxidants. I didn't want to make a superfood because I know it's superfood by itself, but I wanted to experiment the taste and enhance the fruity taste. I don't know how you like it, but
So you don't have to do anything to the fruit to put it in? You just like take it out of the fruit and put it in the melanger, or
yeah.
you have to dry it or anything, or?
Well, you have to poke the fruit first.
Okay.
And then the powders the moment you open, then the powder is just coming out of it. And you collect that and you weigh and then, yeah.
Is it used in regular Malagasy society?
Yeah. The fruit, the pulp is used to make juice. So we have baobab juice mostly. And then baobab jam, fruit, something like that. Yeah, mostly juice. And now because people are, because of health benefit and all that, they just take the powder. So it's a powder in a packet. And then people just eat that. Yeah. How was it? Good? So now the citrusy flavor goes very, very well with Malagasy cocoa. So the first recipe other than dark chocolate that I made is the lemon. So I said 62% lemon. I'm sorry, but it's actually 65% lemon here. So there is, that because I didn't have enough time to run another 36 hours to make 62. So I just did 65 inside of it. So you may not notice the difference, but I noticed the difference of it. The zest of the lemon, the essence from it is what I mix with it. It's tricky to make recipe because people have, there was yesterday someone who said, be true to yourself and be authentic and do your thing. But ultimately, you need to actually satisfy people's expectations. So people who expectation when they eat chocolate, they don't want the chocolate flavor to be masked. but it has to be enhanced. The attributes, the qualities in the chocolate needs to be enhanced. So that's my principles in making the recipes. So I wouldn't put a lot of the essence. And the moment you actually put a lot more of the essence, whether lemon or other things, it becomes bitter. And the bitterness from it is different from the pleasant bitterness from the cocoa. So it just needs to be enough so that you hear a little bit of lemon, but not too much. So that's the trick about using essential oil. If you use the rind, yeah, there is other process to prepare that, and the problem is it can accumulate water and it can be really messy on the chocolate. So I said, I'm not gonna fuss about the rind, and I'm not making bonbon, I'm making dark chocolate. So that's how the recipe won a gourmet medal at the AVPA in 2021. Just during COVID, someone called for the very first AVPA, like, okay, are you interested? Let's make the effort, guys. So I sent and participated in the first AVPA, and it won the gourmet medal. I think because of that. And then I said, let's becomes a little more bold and do the kumbhava.
Okay.
So kumbhava is tricky because it's really hard to get the essence from the outside, but it's a very flavorful, and it's fresh at the same time. It's bold, it's sharp. So I said, let's do something a bit different. So later on, after doing other recipes, between that, I did peppermint, I did milk, I did, do you know physalis fruit? It's a mourancage. So inside, outside, it's this like pepper-like leaf, and outside you have this orangey, very smooth fruit, and there are lots and lots of seeds inside. So I made that with lemon, I made cranberry and lemon. With chocolate, I made all the other things, and then I came to the essence of kumbhava, Careful lime, and I said, wow, this is a little sharper. So people who want to experience something else, is still citrus, and let's do this. So this is starting to going away a little bit from like just enhancing the flavor of the chocolate, but people liked it. People really liked the sharp taste of it. And yeah, you see the difference between the lemon and the kumbhava. And interestingly, I don't see many people using kumbhava with the chocolate. I think very few did it. So again, some of the consultants said that work on something where you can identify yourself, you're authentic, people find you interesting, oh, why not, and so on. So this is the experience. And finally, I have the vanilla. So Madagascar is #1 producer of vanilla. There is a lot of politics around the producing and the pricing and all that. But when you actually work very close to the farmers and there is less intermediates in between I'm not the one who is producing it, but it's a friend. So they are actually working really hard with the farmers. And the farmers, because of that, they are surrounding them with a lot of social actions, social actions in the sense that they can actually, they are very resilient, they create their wells, they have their schools, they have their, each time they have the celebration, like the Independence Day and all that, they can fully really enjoy life in a way, in a sense that, this company this couple is really doing great job. They can aspire. They have great school. This is in a village. Great school. Yeah. So the business make them really prosperous, the farmers. And because of that, they can wait for the beans to grow to the full maturity. And so the length of the beans that I use to make this is like beyond 18 centimeters. So it can reach 19, 20 centimeters. So you can imagine a very long vanilla beans. And so it's really flavorful because it's hand pollinated. Madagascar doesn't have the pollinator, so it's hand pollinated. Every single flower is hand pollinated. So they take it seriously in terms of curing, blanching and then curing and then doing all the process, the post-harvest treatments, the fermentation and the drying to have a fully flavorful vanilla. And that's what I use to make the chocolate with vanilla. So when it says bourbon, vanilla, caviar, bourbon is the variety of the vanilla, and then caviar is not fish, it's the beans of the. So I don't crush the vanilla in the conch because it's going to be like contaminating the flavor of all the other things. So when the conching is finished, right before tempering, we add the vanilla beans. So we cut open it and then scrape the inside, and that's what we mix. We sort of like know that this length for 3 kilo bowl of chocolate, maybe this much, and then we scrape, and then we also kind of like grind a little bit the outside because the outside is precious. The flavor is infused in it. The oil is in it. So don't throw away. My husband, each time he sees some vanilla after scraping, where did it go? He's already, stripping the whole thing. So it's vanilla is special. For us in our culture, it's you have it in a sugar jar just to have it. Even if you are not going to add sugar in your tea, you just open it to smell sugar with the vanilla. It's just something very pleasant. So luxury, it's a bean. So what? Some people may think. But I think we can afford the nature giving us the pleasure, the prosperity, some peace in mind. I think the health in our mind, all of that, the chocolate, the vanilla, I think it plays in the quality of life we have and how we can enjoy. Like, you cannot really enjoy it if you're like rushing all the time. You have to sit, detach yourself, and try to feel things and try to understand beyond what you taste in your mouth, like where is it made from and so on. So that's the story behind the vanilla. And if you have any question, I'll be happy to answer them. If you have any comments, any critiques.
I have a question.
Yes.
Since Madagascar is known for, I'm going to probably say, Madagascar is known for one of the first origins that we all know in North America as crown chocolate. It's a fruity, bright red, and I'm not sure if it's Atkinson or who the other source is, but it's just like Madagascar is considered like the entry because it's so palatable and pleasing and it's just fun. So my question is, when you're home, do you feel like everyone there sees chocolate the same way as we do, or are we looking at it totally differently because we've never been exposed to it growing up on the island? I'm really curious about whether or not chocolate is a part of the daily life there. It's a lot of questions.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you here, right here, have a much better knowledge about this chocolate and the cocoa grown there. Even the farmers, most of the farmers don't understand what it is, what to deliver, because it passed on generations from generations. It becomes a cultural thing for them to grow it, but some of them don't even understand the cocoa they're growing and what it does in the chocolate that it's produced. I try each time I go to the field to bring chocolate and make them, have an educational space to make them understand this. And since 2019 until 2025, I didn't have to actually return even a sack of cocoa to my supplier. I have another new supplier. I had to return the sack because, and I discovered later on that he is actually a cooperative, but he takes from other people. And so the moment you become too economic and the person is not educated about all of this, it turns bad. So basically it's about making money and okay, I can deliver you tomorrow, you are in a hurry and all that. And then it arrives and, okay, I'm sorry, I have to return it. And the first time this year, the first time I had to return it, but that education. About the consumer, unfortunately, the big factory that has been there for God knows, had trained Malagasy people to understand that chocolate is about sweetness. So this is, there is no question of flavor. Chocolate is chocolatey taste and sweet. That unfortunately, that's for them, okay, we are proud that we have a Malagasy factory producing chocolate at a lower price for us, and so we can eat chocolate. That's the thing. So here I come in the picture with my flavorful chocolate, and then the description of it is on the packaging and all that. And so people don't understand because there is a price also. I'm not buying any kind of cocoa. I'm buying a superior kind of cocoa and making it a local product. But I think I've chosen to honor that, even in my country. So I put the price, I have a small badge, and I'm still buying. My business is local in Madagascar. So, and when I arrived there, and then here is Robert, here is the big brand, and I am like here, and then I return the next day, I'm here, and return after a week, I'm down almost on the floor. And then I arrive and I start to complain. And then they said, don't worry, madam, don't worry. Even if it's there, it finishes in a week. So people do understand wherever they put it on the shelves that, okay, that is the chocolate that has the taste that we want, that is, nothing matches, so it still finishes. So 2019, I should have disappeared 2020, 21, COVID, 22. I'm still here 2025 and my capacity is growing. So you see some people are educated and understand it. Unfortunately, when I try to analyze a bit the customers, then there is the Malagasy people educated from abroad who come to Madagascar. There are the Germans, there are the Swiss people, there are the French people. So when I stand there and at the specialized boutique, the people who are buying the Eka chocolate are these people. It's not the regular Malagasy people. So right now I'm trying to participate in fairs where there are more Malagasy coming in. And I think when I have the means, I'm going to make more educational things so that people understand more what they have in Madagascar.
What are some of the major challenges that farmers face in Madagascar?
The farmers in cocoa? Yeah. I think development is not just related to the growing the cocoa. I think education, regardless of the existence of cocoa, in Madagascar lacks funding, lacks a lot of attention. So if I am growing cocoa and I have lots of money that comes from it because I manage to sell like tons of it, then that money can disappear in no time, and it didn't benefit my children, it didn't improve my housing, it didn't improve my transport, it didn't improve, the community, because I think there is effort that needs to be done. When you say certified fair trade, then the company is forced to do certain things. But the understanding of why the company would do that, and the understanding of the beneficiary, what would I do with the premium that comes from, the certification and the consultation that goes on that, it needs to be, how do I say, fed by, what's the purpose. So the purpose, what is prosperity, what is true prosperity, what is wealth and what is prosperity, and how would I use that to make the community a better place. This question, I think, needs to be worked on first. And then they might decide it's not cocoa that will bring us that, maybe something else. So having the cocoa there and driving the whole thing might be beneficial if there is that education going on. But if, that's not there, then the wealth, it doesn't do any difference in the community. So there is a lot of social aspect of things that, still there is work that needs to be done, socially speaking, economically speaking, and mostly in education. The education in Madagascar, I hope, after all that coup and the change in the government and all that, some change will happen. The youth are doing a lot of, they want their voice to be heard, but then, I think education is the key to all of these things. And proper education in families, in communities, among the women, among the youth, and some leadership. So people sometimes say, okay, it's the culture, they need to figure out from within. But I think that the diversity can enrich a lot of things. So people from outside is not going to dictate something, but give some perspective, give some understanding if they know how to share whatever they know and whatever principles they think that can help the community, help the life of the children and the youth and so on, from generation to generation. It's going to change. I hope, I have hope, and it's going to change, but there is people like us who have the volition can go there and help discover things with them and, give some perspectives and understand the culture and make the good things, the good perspectives come out from their cultures, because the poverty are different in different aspects of life sometimes mask the richness of the culture and the knowledge that is already there. So just need the education to just make them shine and come out and make the difference in the life. It's not cocoa. We want the answer to be the cocoa, but I think it's education.
Thank you.
Thank you.